Hello, my fam! I am so excited to do something new today. A 2-in-1. I'm going to give you my daily recap video, and I'm going to do something that, if y'all like, could turn into a regular series I do. I'm calling it Fix My Career. I'm going to be talking about James Charles, Constance Wu, and Trisha Paytas, as well as BRITNEY SPEARS, Jax Taylor, The Bachelorette, and so much more. But first, let's start off with James Charles. Because I spend way too much time every day on social media, I've observed that there's already been a shift. People are now starting to root for James Charles. They're having a lot of sympathy for him. They're saying that folks are ganging up on him, picking on him, which I talked about in a video previously. I mean, even the New York Times wrote an article about James Charles saying he's canceled. And his age has nothing to do with it. But he's still 19, will be 20 at the end of this month. Even in your 20s, people are still hot messes. Heck, even in your 30s, Trisha Paytas. I'll get to Trisha later. I've observed a lot of average folks and fans of his who are not changing their opinion on him are saying it's too much. So he's got that going for him. Another thing that James Charles already has going for him is that he has smartly not said anything since his apology video to Tati. My advice to him would be to continue that. To continue that up until a few days. Depends on when his first show is. James Charles is going on a tour of America this summer in large venues. In Los Angeles, he's going to be at the Nokia Theater, which is about 7,000 people. That's a lot of people. I saw Maluma there. I've seen big artists there. And I randomly looked up, because I was curious, not randomly, I purposefully looked up how many tickets were sold. And he's already sold a lot of tickets. So let's assume his first show of his tour is on a Friday. He should break his silence that Monday of that week. Up until then, so for another 5 weeks or so, he should say nothing. Nothing. He does, I would assume, have a publicist. His publicist should also say nothing. Speak off the record. Have your publicist and manager give sources say, leak things behind the scenes. But you yourself, keep quiet. Try to control the narrative in other ways. Another thing that he should do, in addition to staying quiet publicly, is James Charles should stay quiet privately. Meaning, I don't know if he's been in contact with his friends, especially those in the beauty community. He should stop all communication with them, because none of those people are your real friends. And I wouldn't trust any of them. If I'm texting them, they may take screenshots and post them. Even if it's something you don't think is bad or whatever, there's no need. Your friends will understand if you pulled a Trisha Paytas and ghost them. So stop communicating with everybody, James Charles. Also, I would say, in addition to don't say anything, don't talk to your friends, I think he should go into hiding moderately. He should immediately get on the first plane to New York State, where his mother lives, and seek solace. Be around his mom, because he's in such a heartbroken place. And some of you might raise your eyebrow and this and that, the other. But when he comes back, it could be a smart move to really play the sympathy card if he can pull it off, if he can convincingly act, okay, and say, things were so bad for me, I was even contemplating suicide. I would only play the suicide card if you could pull it off. If not, just say this. I felt my whole world caving in on me. Everything was crumbling all around, and I fell into a deep depression. All I could see was darkness. My future was bleak. I had tunnel vision, and I didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel. I thought my career was over. But throughout the last few weeks, I haven't spoken, but I have been quietly looking at all of the comments, and the support that I've been getting from my followers has meant so much to me. So we're going to get to the comeback first, but there's a couple other things he should be doing in the interim. Stage some paparazzi photos. Make sure that people get photos of you landing at the airport in upstate New York where your mom lives. Not for at least 2 weeks, but after you land in upstate New York, 2 weeks later, then stage more paparazzi photos. It might be cliched, but maybe either paparazzi photos of you going into a therapist's office, going into a church with your mom, or volunteering somewhere. I mean, it's almost not going to work now because I've told you, but I think it would still work. Maybe the therapist's office. Stage those paparazzi photos because that would seem legitimate, you know? The volunteering is so transparent. The church is so transparent. But I strongly think I'm assuming James Charles is watching. I strongly think you need therapy. So staging a paparazzi photo there, that's not a bad move because it's telling people, look, I'm really committed to getting better. And hopefully you are committed to getting better. And when you do come back and start communicating with your friends, one friend that you should never communicate with again is Gabriel Zamora. Listen closely, James Charles. I'm old enough to be your father. I'm more than twice your age. I've been around the block and I've been around the globe. Gabriel Zamora is bad news. If I was Nikita Dragon, if I was anybody in the beauty community, I would want nothing to do with Gabriel Zamora. He's bad news. I could just tell that the energy that he gives off, there is something about him that is untrustworthy, that's evil. I may be totally wrong here, but I'm probably not. Another thing you should do, and if you can make this happen, ooh, child, it would be explosive. And I'm going to assume that Tati Westbrook is watching this too. She's not a dummy. She's very smart, as evidenced by the video that she made and the businesses that she's been able to build with the help of her husband. Not for at least another 2 weeks, but in 2 weeks, James Charles, you should hit up Tati and somehow mend that relationship. Even if it's a fake mending of the relationship that's mutually beneficial for both of you. Tati likes money, okay? Let's get real. She's a businesswoman. And the two of you, after you make your comeback, which I'll talk about the comeback first, this is not the first step. After you've reintroduced yourself into the public eye, if 2 weeks after that, because you got to give things breathing room, okay? So after you're back in the public eye, and I'll tell you how to do that, James Charles, if you and Tati make a video together explosive. Actually, you both should make 2 videos together. Actually, no. You owe her more. Make 1 video together for her channel after you've come back. Help grow her channel. I would say you owe that to her, or that's the move you should make. Make a video with her for her channel and then mend that relationship, even if it's just for a video, for publicity, for business, okay? Now, how should you make your comeback? I would advise you against doing a sit-down interview with a traditional journalist. First of all, because most of them, like somebody on Good Morning America, the Today Show, or this or that or the other, they're old. They're not going to understand the culture, the world that you're in, the community. They're not going to know all the details, have seen all the videos. So don't do that. Secondly, you may be tempted to reach out to Shane Dawson and do something with him. I would say don't do that. That's not a good idea. Here's why. Because you need to be... I'm saying that's not a bad idea for down the road, okay? Actually, reach out to Shane in 2 weeks and say, hey, later this summer, I would love to do a multi-part series with you if you're down for that. But your comeback, James Charles, should be with me. And I'll explain why. I think your first look back, you need to be in control of the narrative. And if your first look back is with Shane Dawson, you're not controlling the narrative. He is. He is going to edit it. He's going to say whatever he wants in the voiceover. It's going to be his video. And listen, I'm a nobody on YouTube. I've got 1/100th of the amount of followers that James Charles does. But I'm also Perez Hilton, and people know me all over the world. I am an icon and a legend. James Charles is neither of those things yet. He's just very popular right now. But I will interview you, James Charles, with your cameras for your channel. I'll ask the tough questions, and then it's up to you and your team to decide what you want to show. That way you are in control of the narrative. You can edit it. You can do whatever you want with my footage. I'll be using you, and you can use me too. I'm very freaking transparent. So, 13 minutes later, I think all of that is really smart and strategic. And my interview with him would be really good as a gay man, as somebody who's in the world that he is, who's been doing it now for 15 years. I think actually me interviewing him makes a lot of sense. I have a lot of insight to offer and a lot of good questions to ask. I mean, I really want to get behind the psychology of his obsession with heterosexual men. The whole Tati thing too, sure, I'll get into all of that, but I just don't get that obsession. As I've said before, I can joke about having a crush on Zac Efron or whomever, but I want somebody experienced, somebody who is clearly gay, because I want it to be easy and a guaranteed good time. So moving on to Trisha Paytas, who continues to be talked about, and how Trisha Paytas can fix her career is to talk to me. Let me interview you, Trish. Actually, you guys, I tweeted Trisha this morning and I said, check your DMs. And I also DM'd her on Instagram and I said, hey, I would love to interview you. And you know what? She said yes! And we're supposed to meet later today. Exclusive breaking news. If she doesn't flake, I will post that video tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. 6:30 p.m. London time. So if Trisha does end up showing up, I'll let you know about it as soon as possible. I'll tease it. I'll promote it. I'll use a photo of us to let you all know that the interview with Trisha is happening tomorrow, but I don't need to show the receipts or the screen grabs. She said yes. I hope she does it, because I actually think me interviewing Trisha, and what I love about Trisha is I do feel that if she agreed to this interview, which she did, she knows it's like going to sit down with Howard Stern, who will never have her on his show. Now, maybe in 5 years' time, if her career is different, if things continue to happen, she could be on Howard. But if Trisha Paytas called up Gary and said, hey, I want to be on Howard's show, he'd hang up on her. I am the Howard of the digital space. And Trisha, I think, is game to answer any of my questions. I know everything that's been going on, not just with Nikocado Avocado, but also with Jason and her being committed and her career and Tana Mojo and her fitness. And there's so much I want to get into with her. So hopefully that'll happen. And I think that the way that I plan to present it all and the questions that I plan to ask, I think it'd be really good for Trish. So let's hope she doesn't flake. And now, Constance Wu, how to fix my career. On to you, my friend. You're not my friend. Actually, I'm so disgusted by you. I'd laugh, but I really am. Like, such an ingrate. To recap that story, Constance Wu was pissed that her ABC hit sitcom got renewed for another season because she wanted to do another opportunity again, because that show isn't challenging for her as an actress. You knew what you signed up for, and for me as an actor, graduated from NYU's Tisch School of the Arts with a degree in drama, I continue to actively audition for things. Being on a hit sitcom is my dream, as well as being on a talk show, in a panel, or by myself, or being in a reality show. I just want to be on TV and continue to do videos. I can do it all. Hey, even J-Lo is making YouTube videos now, doing it all. How can Constance Wu fix her career? I got to put some thought into this. She's the trickiest one, because to me, her career is ruined. I would never hire her. I'm not a fan of hers. I would never be a fan of hers. I would think now she's going to need to do some serious work. I think she needs Oprah. Oprah can really help. An interview with Oprah. Nobody else, not even Gayle King. Because the thing that Oprah could do for Constance Wu is Gayle would ask great questions, but Oprah is such a spiritual person and such a person that so many people love. She'll ask the great questions, but also be able to get on a deeper level with her, on a spiritual level, on a psychological level, and try to understand the impetus for her behavior. And there may be things we don't know about Constance Wu. Or maybe make it up also, you may not want to hear this, but this is the things that some people say, crisis managers. She could blame it on her childhood, say that she had a very dysfunctional childhood and, controlling her anger or her emotions is something that she didn't learn when she was young. It's good to blame it on something that's very relatable, that people will have empathy for. So blame it on your childhood, get Oprah, cry convincingly, And I would say also either donate a ton of money. Don't start a foundation. People want to see that it hurt. Donate $1 million to a youth theater program or something with minorities in the acting world. People are like, wow, she really learned her... Or here we go, even better, more than $1 million. I'm good. Donate your entire salary for the upcoming season of Fresh Off the Boat to multiple causes. Donate half of it to the theater or acting thing and donate the other half to the ACLU. Boom! Am I good or am I good? Holy moly. I love this. I'm going to have to fix my career more often. All right. Now, on to our daily recap. Sorry. Lo siento. I wish these had sayings. I always am disappointed. I'm not even going to say the name of the brand. Maybe I will. Send me money, Tazo. Send me money and add sayings to your little hanging things. This one's vanilla bean macaroon. All right. On to Britney Spears. Oh, shoot. I forgot about Constance Wu. One last thing. Ooh. There was an article today in the New York Post about Constance Wu and how she's got an awful reputation on the set of Fresh Off the Boat and how she's nice to the cast but is awful to the crew and a diva and just refuses to do this and that and the other. And she also has been awful on the set of the new movie about strippers with Jennifer Lopez and Cardi B. Unless she does a lot of the things I said, her career may be permanently damaged, just like Katherine Heigl is. Katherine Heigl was never fully able to recover. A similar thing that happened to her. All right, on to Britney Spears. Britney wants to spend more time with her kids, Sean Preston and Jaden James. Unfortunately, Kevin Federline says, no way, Jose. He is not allowing Britney to spend more time with her kids, more time. Britney wants increased visitation, and just basically Kevin is controlling the amount of time and restricting it now because of Britney's current mental state, which, according to even newer reports, these last 7 days have been really rough for Britney. The mixture of medication still isn't right. I'm getting this awful sense that 2019 is a lot like 2007. Positive vibes for Britney. Let us surround her in light, strength, and protection. Okay, in more Britney-related news, the judge that she saw recently has ordered an investigation into her conservatorship. So, at least we know things are being looked into. All right, on to other news. Felicity Huffman, speaking of courts, pled guilty earlier this week and revealed the real reason that she took part in the college cheating scandal. Because her daughter has a learning disability. Does that change your thoughts on this whole situation? I think it does change mine. I have even more understanding, and I guess, I mean, it changes it a little bit, but on the flip side, I just go back to myself. If my child had a learning disability and struggled in school, why would I send them to a school that is not right for their learning abilities? If they couldn't get in on their own, why would I want an emotionally draining, struggling experience in college for my kids if they're not going to be able to flourish there and shine. As always, I will have the links down below to everything that I talk about so you can read, see, or hear more. There was some drama that went down with RIPA and The Bachelorette. She says of that show, I can't stand the idea of 25 exceptional women fighting over one ordinary fella. She says the show, quote, disgusts me. I wouldn't go so extreme, but I'm not a fan of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Not because of all those reasons, but just because it's so fake. It's so fake. All these people are just going on the show because they want to be on TV. Duh. In other TV-related news, a positive update. All of the children now in Janelle Evans and David Eason's house have been removed by CPS, Child Protective Services. Janelle, the fired Teen Mom star, is vowing to fight that in court, though. In other news that is also TV-related and wacky, Jax Taylor from Vanderpump Rules owes the state of California $80,000+, even though he makes over $500,000 a year on Vanderpump Rules. And he owes the state so much they've put a lien on his estate. He owes them $80K and he better pay up. Jax should join Cameo. Make personalized videos for people, charge. I would set his price at $75. He's hot because he's on that show. He could probably get $75 a video, or maybe $65 is better. Mine are just $28.99. I smartly priced them. I make a lot every day. If you want to get a personalized video greeting from me, you can get it directly on the Cameo app or at cameo.com/Perez Hilton. That's cameo.com/Perez Hilton. You can see a bunch of the cameos I've made for other people there. I make the best cameos. I am the queen of Cameo. All right. Speaking of reality TV stars, Kylie Jenner is coming out with a skincare line, as well as a baby line and a hair line. And people are upset because she's coming out with a walnut scrub, which she said it's really gentle enough for everyday use. Well, people that have sensitive skin are calling her out on that and saying that walnut scrubs can cause permanent damage to people with sensitive skin. Y'all, it hasn't even come out yet. And maybe on the packaging it'll say that, because legally I think it would have to. And just a reminder, don't take anything Kylie Jenner says literally or seriously. It's Kylie Jenner. And everybody getting upset about it, what they're actually doing is only helping her and her skincare line, getting her more publicity for it. And if you have sensitive skin, then you should know yourself what to do for it. Speaking of Kylie Jenner, her sister's ex-husband, Lamar Odom, formerly married to Khloe Kardashian, regrets his actions while married to her. He's got a new autobiography that comes out at the end of this month. And of course, he's doing the media rounds and excerpts are coming out and blah, 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 blah. He also says that he wants to be friends again with Khloe and the family because he misses them. Yeah, and also because being a part of that circle was good for you financially. Lamar may not be all there, but he's still got some brains. In other news, Sarah Jessica Parker is really upset that the National Enquirer was going to write an untrue story about her marriage to Matthew Broderick. They've been married over 20 years. She ended it after she explained that this is not true and that and the other by including the hashtag tabloid harassment. You guys, not everybody's like me. But if the National Enquirer and other outlets kept writing about me, I would be thankful. I would send them cupcakes every Christmas. Not really, because that's a waste of money, but I wouldn't be complaining. I'd be thankful that I was relevant enough still to be talked about. 22 years later. Perez Hilton, speaking of wacky news, was on Watch What Happens Live earlier this year and called Lindsay Lohan lame and embarrassing. And these two have gotten old, but this feud hasn't, and I love it. I'm old, but I can still get real petty. In other news, positive news, let's end things with a couple of positive items. Baby Archie, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's newborn son, is mending Harry and William's relationship, according to People magazine. Good, because family is everything. Also, Selena Gomez is like a broken record, saying that social media and social media culture is terrible and dangerous and it scares me. Quit it! Don't be on it! But she can't, because she monetizes it. Hypocrite. And I love Selena, okay? Just stop trashing social media. Jeez. You could just say it's not for everybody. It's not for me at all times. But if you're being so hardcore against it, but then you're using it for your own game, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I love social media. Granted, it can be a bit much for me at times, especially because it's my job, so I feel like I have to be on it at all times. But I'm grateful for social media. I'm grateful for you. Right now, watching this. I appreciate you so much. And social media brought you into my life and me into yours. And we are fam, okay? We are fam. In other news, let us just end from Britney to Heather Locklear, sending positive vibes to Heather Locklear. She is back in rehab. And on the bright side, at least she's going through all of these hardships privately. You know, it's not like Leah Marie Johnson where she's live streaming her breakdowns and really dark moments. But let us send light to Heather Locklear. Let us send light to Britney Spears. And I send light to you. And thank you, everybody, from the bottom of my heart for all of the positive vibes that you sent my mom. She appreciates it so much. So do I. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, leave a comment, follow, subscribe, share. Now I feel like this pressure when I make a really long video to do something wild or crazy at the very end. This is the first thing that comes to mind. I apologize in advance. I don't like that sexually. I'm just doing it to be a dork. Thankfully, I just got out of the shower. Ew. Okay, I'm done. Like, even though I just did that, comment and share. Bye.